I gotta tell you, I got out of town with my family last weekend. We went to New York City. And right, you've heard of it. This is amazing. So we had kind of like the perfect New York weekend. Like we walked through Central Park. The weather was kind of like it is right now. We saw a show on Broadway. We went to the Harry Potter store. Felt super weird about it. We accidentally stole a magnet though, so it's kind of okay. What else? Then we went back to our hotel. We were staying not in New York because I'm an English teacher. We were staying in New Jersey, which was awesome. No shame, New Jersey's great. And it was beautiful. We were right on the coast of New Jersey, right by the port. You could see the waterfront. It was beautiful. We're taking ferry rides in and out every day. And our hotel room, we really lucked out. We had this beautiful view of the water, and it's me, it's my wife Catherine, 2 kids. So I'm with one, she's with the other, and we're trying to put them to bed. It's way too late. They've been walking around all day. They are not going to sleep. Finally, I feel Owen's fidgeting, slowing down and stopping. I'm like, this is good. This is peaceful. This is all right. And suddenly, his tiny little hand is on my arm. He's 7. He's got a fierce grip. Daddy, is this where it landed? And I was like, what? Where what landed? Is this where it was supposed to land? Where it was supposed to dock? And now I know. Because when it comes to Owen and docking, there is only one subject up for discussion. Now look, we all had different escapes during the lockdown and pandemic, all right? I broke out my e-reader, and I found I could just read forever and pretend nothing was happening. Ella followed suit and was hiding in the corner with fantasy novels about dragons. Catherine tried to get us out of the house. We got the kids riding bikes and snowshoeing. And Owen discovered the glorious history of the HMS Titanic. And let me tell you, from age 5 when the pandemic began to age 7.5, almost 8, to when are we pretending it's over, Owen has one great love, and that is that ship, Titanic. And what's kind of amazing is Owen knew about Titanic before. He was a boat, train, plane, everything kind of kid. But something just happened at the beginning of the pandemic, and that's all he wanted to talk about. And somehow he picked up on all of these facts. Like, there was another ship that could have saved more passengers of Titanic, but they thought that the flares were fireworks. And I didn't know that, but Owen did. And did you know that there are 4 smokestacks on Titanic, but only 3 of them work? One of them was added for aesthetic purposes. Didn't know that. This kid's a genius. A genius exclusively about a Titanic, but a genius all the same. And he'll talk to you about the Carpathia, and he'll talk to you about the lifeboats, and about how, he hasn't just read the books, or rather had the books read to him. He's 5 to 7 during this story. He's also seen, not the movie. Let's be clear here, all right? I'm not a monster. I haven't shown my kids the glorious 1997 work of art that is James Cameron's Titanic. Luckily, James Cameron's got my back. He knows I don't want to show them those steamier scenes. Instead, he's released years and years worth of documentaries about how he made Titanic. So Owen doesn't have to watch the movie. He can see long shots of James Cameron fiddling with a submarine going down to look at Titanic. Or James Cameron standing on a recreation of Titanic saying, how fast could they have dropped those lifeboats anyway? And he is here for all of it. He's just absorbed all of this information. And okay, look, he hasn't watched the movie, but he's seen the trailer. He's seen the first 15 minutes. He's seen an aged Rose standing over the ship, and it wasn't quite like that at the time. He's seen the recreation of Titanic coming back to life. He's seen that much. He hasn't seen Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls. That's not where we're prepared to go at this point in our lives. 7, come on. But he has this love and this passion, and if you ever hear him sing, My Heart Will Go On, your heart will go on. Because he's got that little boy falsetto. It's incredible. And I got to tell you, listening to him sing and speak and live the Titanic experience, I find myself, I am not immune, I find myself like an aged Rose Bucator walking to the edge of the ship, looking over and thinking back on my life with Titanic. Thinking back to 1997 when I thought I was too cool for this romantic film starring a young Leonardo DiCaprio. But let me tell you, I saw that movie 4 times in theaters. I saw it once with my parents, and then something went off in my 17-year-old brain and made me realize I should try to bring a girl to see this movie. My previous attempt to date a girl at a movie didn't go so well. Austin Powers, also released in 1997, not a good move. But Titanic, I went 3 times with different friend groups trying to get close to young women, and it did not happen for me. I tried everything. I sat next to them. I was awkward. After the movie, the last time, I remember, I was like, I gotta say something really clever, really smart. And so I opined, as everyone's like one-upping themselves, how intense, how scary, how, I tried this time, I said. I tried holding my breath the entire time Leo had to. And this was true. This was a true thing. And my friends just looked at me. And then they all started laughing. They thought it was a joke, which is probably the only thing that saved my senior year of high school. But let me tell you, that is a way to experience Titanic too. Hold your breath. In the end, I don't share a lot of those details with Owen about Titanic. I talk about singing My Heart Will Go On to try and embarrass my brother. I talk about going to see it in the theaters and it being huge. And I talk about just, how the ship, I guess, has had an impact on my life. But it means just so much to him. And so trying to get him to sleep, there's only one answer. Like, I got a phone, I pull it out, pull up that Titanic trailer, and we're just watching it together, It's a real father-son bonding moment. And it ends, and it's good, and we breathe, and we snuggle in together. And my kid has grown up so fast. He doesn't know about kids dying horribly on the Titanic, and he doesn't know about class warfare and the dramatic nightmare that is being poor in the early 20th century, or even now. And he certainly doesn't know what's going on in a lot of the more kissy-kissy romantic scenes. But for some reason that night it hits him. He asked me, "Daddy, what is Rose doing when she draws on the window?" I'm like, "What?" And then, of course, it comes back. A hand pressed against the steamed glass. Well, honey, it's pretty cold that night, so the car got all steamy. And you know how it is when you're driving in the winter, you just want to draw. They play tic-tac-toe afterwards. It's like, oh, that makes sense. It was cold because of the iceberg. It was cold because of the iceberg. Exactly, kiddo. And he goes to sleep that night. But I still think about that hand and that day that he will call me on that one. Thank you.